Hello and welcome back to Third Degree Food. I am Sam Caterer and this is the Third Degree Kitchen. And today we're going to be making the grandma of all cakes, the absolute queen of the cake family, in the shape and form of the delicious Victoria sponge with an incredible raspberry jam filling. Very few ingredients and very simple to make, as is our ethos right here on Third Degree Food. And without further ado, I'm going to run you through the ingredients that we will need. Like I say, very, very simple. So we're kicking off with 200 grams of self-raising flour, 200 grams of organic unsalted butter. We have 150 grams of sugar, a good dash of vanilla essence. If you've watched my previous videos on baking and ice cream making, you can supplement the amount of sugar in your cakes and your ice creams and what have you by adding a good splash of vanilla essence instead of the additional 50 grams of sugar. It really works. It's a really good tip and helps reduce the sugar content of your baking. We've got a little pinch of Portuguese sea salt to augment the lack of salt in the butter. We've got 4 eggs. We've got some organic double cream. And we've got some delicious seedless raspberry jam. So without further ado, we're going to start mixing up our batter mix for the cake. So we're going to go in with our butter. Just put that over there. And then we're going to go in with our sugar. And we're going to cream these together using our hand whisk. Nice and easy. You want room temperature butter really. Get a nice cream on this on the go. Remember, you can catch all our recipes thirddegreefood.com. Give us a little follow on all the socials, Instagram, Facebook. And I'm going to run you through a really good tip for your flour so you get a really nice rise with your sponge. Absolutely delicious. If you want to make a Genoese cake, you can by heating up the bowl on a bain-marie, like heated water over a saucepan. It gives a little bit of extra lift. However, today I'm going to show you how you sift in your flour and you just turn it just slightly to give it that extra bit of lift. But anyway, back to the creaming. Incorporate all that sugar. Now we're going to add our eggs, 2 at a time because you don't want them to split. There, 1. In there with a second. Always keep a little cloth to hand to wipe your fingers. We'll get the spatula very shortly and incorporate all that to the eggs. But for now, we're just going to put the eggs in. I'm also going to show you an incredible tip on how to line your baking trays so that you get the perfect fit every time. It's a really good little tip, and obviously all our tips are available from thirddegreefood.com. Give us a little like and subscribe if you will, and smash that notification bell. And of course, please do leave your comments down below. Every comment is well taken on board, and really, we do listen and we do try and implement everything you try and put forward to us. Anyway, back to mixing in the eggs. Just going to grab the spatula now and incorporate all this stuff stuck around the side. Scrape that off for now. Now we're going to add a good pinch of Portuguese sea salt just to augment the butter. Put that in there, and a good glug of the vanilla essence. Like so, probably a tablespoon there or thereabouts. Give it another little whisk. You want it really nice and light. Next, we're going to go in with our flour, and we want to just sieve in our self-raising flour, the 200 grams of there. Just nicely in there. And you do not want to whisk this too much once you've sieved it into the mixture, because that will keep the cake really nice and aerated. And if you mix it too much, you do find that your cakes are slightly denser, which you don't really want. So that's nearly done in there. Just push that through. Okay, we're just going to pulse our mixture now, just to incorporate it, just like so. The less you work your flour, the better the cakes. Okay, just take it off there, bang that on the side. Let's get our spatula and give it one last turn with all the dry ingredients around the side. Incorporate into the mixture, like so. And that is exactly the consistency you want for your Victoria sponge. Just scrape it off one more time. I'm going to get all the glitter in there. Okay, and these in the sink. So we got two 7-inch cake tins here. We've got one here and another one there. So we're going to fold these in a way that you make a liner. So what you want to do is you want to cut your parchment or baking paper just so they come up the side here. And then you're going to want to fold it in a way, a bit like making a paper airplane. You fold it once, you fold it back on itself. Line up the triangles. You see the angles here. You want your lines nice and crisp. And again, fold it back on itself. There you go. And that way. So what you have here, you measure from the center of the baking tray, and you want to allow for the sides of the tin as well. So when you cut the end off this, you want it to be able to come up the side of the tin. So just look over the top. That will do there nicely. Fantastic. Okay, and then you want to splice just an inch or so just to take care of the sides. So we're going to just give that a little look, see how it pans out, literally. And there we have it. That's exactly what you want. Just lining the sides of the tin beautifully like so. Okay, we'll repeat this process one more time, which is good because you get another look at how to do it, because it is quite tricky, but once you get it, you've got it. So fold in diagonals, nice sharp lines, back on itself. Back on itself one more time. And then maybe one more just to make it nice and snug. There we have it there. So once again, we will go back to our baking tin. We take it from the middle, account for the sides, there or thereabouts. Okay. And we cut into it about 1 inch, there or thereabouts. It just finds a nice way with the cake. So we'll open it up. It doesn't matter if you're not overly precise, the cake will find its own way to level. But there we have two very nice little lined baking trays with our parchment paper. And because you're using parchment paper, you don't need to grease them. Okay, anyway, so what we're going to do now is empty out our cake mixture into our tins. Get a nice spoonful in there. Probably do one at a time. I mean, 1 spoon each, I mean. Just in there. Just scrape all the rest of the stuff from the bowl. Make sure you've got roughly the same amount in each cake. And then we will use our spatula to scrape out the rest. Now I've got my oven on at 160 degrees. We're going to put these in very shortly for about 45 minutes there or thereabouts, cooking nice and slowly because you don't want them to rise too much and crack. By the way, if you've noticed the apron, I've got some oven gloves as well. You can go to shop.thirddegreefood for all our merchandise. And of course, give us a little like and subscribe as well and smash that notification bell. So I'm just going to flatten these out just so you've got the mixture right to the sides. Can be quite fiddly, as you can see. But once it's there, you've got a fantastic cake coming your way. Just peel these back. Get it in there. And there's one. And then this one as well. Smells fantastic. Absolutely incredible. Just push that into the sides. Okay, and we are good to go. So, as I say, these are going to go in the oven for about 45 minutes there or thereabouts at 160 degrees. Keep your eye on them because you don't want them to overcook too quickly. But as long as you're on top of things, you can judge roughly when your cakes are ready. So in the oven we go. And I will see you back here very shortly. Right, so we are back, and as you can hear, our cakes are ready, so it's time to take them out of the oven and let them rest for about an hour or thereabouts, just so they can cool down really nicely. Because we're going to sandwich them with a beautiful bit of chantilly cream, and of course our delicious raspberries. So I'm going to grab them out of the oven. I'm going to show you a little tip how to take them out of the cake tins. Okay, we've got cake number 1. They smell amazing. The aromas in the kitchen are absolutely punching. Have a look at that cake. Absolutely incredible. So we just place them on the cooling rack for 1 sec. Get number 2 out. Oh, they smell divine. Look at that. That is absolutely as you want your sponge. Perfectly, perfectly done. I would just let them sit there for a second, turn off the oven. Now you're going to need a little cup like this, just upturned, because you're going to slide the edges of the tin just off like so. So you can then just rest the cake on the tin. It's cooling down all the time. And the same with number 2. Just place it over that. And what you'll see is, move that out of the way, you'll have a lovely little shape of the cake just here where the liner has gone. Just adds a little bit of flair to your cake. Same with this one. Now we want to slide these off the bottom parts of the tin in order to let it cool from the underneath as well. So just lift that very gently and slide them out of the way. Same with this, lift that really gently and slide out the way. So we're going to leave our cakes just sitting there just for about an hour thereabouts, just so they cool down really nicely. And then we're going to arrange them with our chantilly cream and our beautiful raspberry jam. So we're going to come back very shortly, arrange our cake, have a little slice with a lovely cup of tea. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Hello and welcome back. I am glad you are still with me. Now it is time to arrange our delicious grandma of cakes, the queen of all bakery, the delicious Victoria sponge cake. And they've just been resting here and cooling on our cooling rack. They smell absolutely divine. The house is absolutely ringing of Victoria sponge. You need to make a decision as to which one is going to be the top of your cake. And if you look closely at your sponges, you just want to make sure that it's going to be aesthetically pleasing as possible. So just here, I think this one is going to be the bottom because this one is absolutely perfect. Now a little tip, first and foremostly, get your cake stand, and the one that's going to be the bottom, you want to turn upside down. So you have a perfectly flat surface to apply our cream and our jam to. This is quite important because you want it to look absolutely divine. Get rid of that in there. I can't tell you how good the kitchen smells right now. So we're going to put this to one side just for now, and we're going to start whisking our cream and making our chantilly. We're not going too sweet with our chantilly. We're just going to add about half a tablespoon of icing sugar to our cream whilst we mix it. So in we go with our whisk. Take about 4 or 5 minutes. Remember, all our recipes are available on thirddegreefood.com. If you've got a moment, please do give us a little like and subscribe down below. Smash that notification bell for all the future videos we're going to be releasing. We've got some amazing stuff in the pipeline. And if you do have a moment, give us a little thumbs up, thumbs down. It's all good to me. And leave us a little comment as well. Let me know what you think of the video, how you do things differently at home. It's all well taken on board and greatly appreciated in advance. Thank you. Back to the cream. Now that the cream is starting to aerate, we're going to take our icing sugar. In it goes. Adds just a little bit of sweetness to our whisk cream. This is double cream, organic. You don't want to overdo that too much. You don't want to be too stiff and waxy. That will do for now. This is exactly the consistency you need for your sponge. Next, it's really easy, really straightforward. First and foremost, you've got my cup of tea just brewing here on the side whilst we put our cake together, just highlighting you how quick this is. So the next process is we're going to layer a nice little bit of jam over the top of the cake. And this is quite a well-known brand. It's one of my favourite. It's seedless, so you don't get all the bits in your teeth whilst you're tucking into your cake. Take a nice big room temperature spoonful or two. Don't go over the top to start with. Put that there. And we're just going to use our spatula to push the jam to the side of the cake. Like so. Could do with just a little bit more. We want it to be luxurious, unctuous, glorious cake to enjoy with our delicious cup of tea. Just a little bit more in there. Just push it to the sides. The seedless, we're using raspberry jam. You can use strawberry. You can use any kind of jam you like really with this sponge, but the traditional method, raspberry jam, and the seedless jam just goes so well. It's just really nice and smooth, low effort, and obviously it spreads so easily as well. So there we are. Put it in the sink. I'll move that to the side. You can make your own jam, and there are videos coming on thirddegreefood.com of jams that we will be making. Obviously we make quite a lot of coulis and the like, using fruit for our ice cream videos. But what we're going to do now is dress the top of our cake with our chantilly cream. I'll take a good few spoonfuls of the cream. Just dot that on top. This is why you want the flat surface, so it all just stays really nicely and horizontal. Otherwise you'd be sliding off all over the shop. That's a lovely amount of cream in there. Nice and light, really beautifully whisked. And we use our other spatula just to push this round the edges. Incredible Victoria sponge cake. You don't have to be too precise or too careful. It all just finds its way anyway, especially when you put the lid on. But you want it to be gushing out the side, or at least visible from the side, like so. And then we're going to crown our queen with the upper part of the sponge. And you go there, like so. Get the last bit off there. Wow. Absolutely punching with flavour. Okay, so we're going to go in with our last part of the cake preparation. Just peel off our grease-proof paper. And as you can see, this top is literally perfect. We didn't want to make too big a cake. Just a 7-inch cake will do with this mixture. Because, you know, if you leave it standing too long with fresh cream, it will go off quicker than a normal cake. And we just want to devour this as soon as possible. So, on we go with our delicious lid. That is looking insanely good. And the final pièce de résistance, which I like to do, to dust the top of the cake with some icing sugar. Just like so. Be as liberal as you like. You can make some stencils. You can put some raspberries on the top. You can do whatever you want to do. But this, for me, simplicity is key. And there is our delicious Victoria sponge cake with raspberry jam. So now that all that remains to be done is to sample the fruits of our labour and get involved with our delicious Victoria sponge. So I'm going to grab a knife without further ado, grab our plate and make a delicious incision into our incredible cake. I can't tell you how good the house smells right now. Should go in a nice 1/8 of the cake, I reckon. Our cup of tea is just chilling there. And we're going in. Look at that, absolutely perfect. That is exactly what you want from your Victoria sponge. Okay, as you can see, the layers in here are absolutely perfect. Generous amount of jam, delicious amount of cream, and our sandwich, you can cut this to a couple of levels as well and then butter ice it all the way. But for the purpose of our video today, this is just showing you how simple it is to create a delicious Victoria sponge. So I'm going to pour myself a little cup of tea. And now it is cake o'clock. Let's try our fantastic Victoria sponge. The vanilla coming through. The jam. That is amazing. That is the perfect cake. Goodness me. So simple, but absolutely 100% delicious. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to go enjoy this with the rest of my cup of tea. You've been watching Third Degree Food. Thank you very much for joining us. See you again very shortly. We've got plenty of recipes coming your way. And obviously, please do give us a little like and subscribe and smash that notification bell for future videos. And of course, please do leave a comment. All good, all bad, whatever. It's all good for us. But thank you once again. I will see you very soon. Cheers. What a cake.